welcome back in to another edition of Astros Recap. David Artis here once again, Sunday night, 11 p.m. on the dot, June 12th, 2022. It's another week's in the books for the Astros. Not a good week. Six-game homestand, losing 4 of 6, dropping 2 of 3 to both Seattle and Miami, two teams you feel like you should at least take the series from. So disappointing from that standpoint. Astros actually salvaged a game today, so their whole something that hasn't really been talked about a whole lot this year. Now that I'm talking about it, it probably goes south, but the Astros have not been swept. They played 19 series, and we're into mid-June, and they have not been swept yet, so I guess that's something. But yeah, not a good week. Obviously, the Astros, lead their division very comfortably, so not a whole lot of issue there. 8.5 game lead. Texas actually now is in second place. LA, finally snapped their losing streak, got all the way to 14 games. Sort of bunched. Oakland's fallen back pretty good. So, they're 17 games back, but Texas, LA, and Seattle all right, sort of mixed in there. Haven't played LA in a while. We've played Texas a few times, beaten them 6 of 8. Seattle, I think we're knotted up right at 6-6. So we swept them, in our home ballpark a month ago or whatever it was. Yeah, about a month ago. But the other 3, we played them 4 series already. The other 3 times, Seattle's taken 2 of 3. So, quick math: 3-6, and then the 3-0, 6-6 against Seattle. So, yeah, the competition division. We swept Oakland, only played them 3 times. LA, were like 4-3, I want to say, against them. And like I said, Texas, we won 6 of 8. So, we're okay. Astros in the past years have dominated their division. That's not really the case. We're still pretty in good shape playing teams in our division. But that being said, it's not the dominance we've had previous years. But losing 2 or 3, I think Seattle's better than what we give them credit for. I think I look at them; they're 27-33 right now, which they've actually improved the record a little bit. But I think they'll be better. Seattle obviously was great in one-run games last year. That's always a hard thing to sustain. But they added in the offseason. Robbie Ray hasn't been what they had hoped. He won the Cy Young last year. We just faced him for the first time the last, I want to say it might have been Monday. Probably Monday. But he hasn't been good this year. His ERA is over 4. The Astros had no issues hitting him when we played him. We didn't win the game, but that was that. But also adding Jesse Winker and Eugenio Suarez from the Reds, which are 2 big hitters for the Reds at least. And, at the deadline, they traded us, Kendall Graveman and Rafael Montero. Obviously, Graveman's onto the White Sox now. Montero's a big part of our back into the bullpen, but they also added, even though they gave away, I don't know, Toro's not doing much for him this year, I don't think. I don't know if Joe Smith is still with him. But they added Diego Castillo from the Mariners. Not the Mariners, the Mariners got him from the Rays, and he's sort of their closer now. So yeah, they want to compete, so I'm not going to spend a whole time talking about the Mariners. I need to get into some games here, but I do think they're better than what the record says they are right now. I'll just say that. Thought I heard something back there. All right. So Monday's game, sort of back and forth. There was a little scuffle there at the end. Some hit batters back to back. Seattle scored 1 in the first. We put up 1 in the bottom. They put up 3 in the second. We put up 3 in the second. It's 4-4. They had the lead there as they scored a single run there in the 4th. And then they had the lead there for a while. The big story here, so we lost the game. Julio Rodriguez hit the 2-run shot in the 9th after sort of the scuffle that took place. So there was a pitch. Kyle Tucker hit a home run. His next at bat, there was a pitch that came up and in. I don't think it hit him, but I'd say it was intentional. The Astros actually probably did were more in the wrong in this particular situation, which I can sit here and be a homer, but I'm rarely that guy. But a pitch came up and in on Tucker. I don't know if this is intentional. Hector Neris is in the game here in the ninth inning. And Ty France, they basically throw behind him. Of course, Scott Service likes to yell. You think about there was an issue last year with Brooks Raley. The Astros were up big, 7-0. I think Mariners came all the way back. They took the lead. Big 3-run shot, Dylan Moore. And then J.P. Crawford, Brooks Raley just lost command. Brooks Raley was a mess for the majority of last year, but he hit, J.P. Crawford, and Service started yelling at him from his dugout. Omar Lopez stepped in and fired back. And that was sort of the confrontation there. I don't know if this was sort of weird after you've played, they've already played each other 8 times going into this, or, okay, maybe, hold on, 9 times going into this, so 10th game, something that boiled over from a year ago, I don't know. But yeah, so Hector Neris threw basically behind Ty France. I don't know if that was retaliation, maybe it was. To miss your target by that much to where you throw behind the guy, yeah, there might have been some retaliation there. Scott Service didn't like it, obviously yelling, and the Astros were, like the coaching staff or whoever was in the dugout was waiting for Scott Service to yell at Hector Neris, and they fired back and said, don't. They sort of erupted, and obviously Omar Lopez and Scott Service were sort of the catalysts of the situation. They both got tossed after benches cleared, a little shoving here and there, nothing too big. And then Neris later that inning, after giving up the home run to Julio Rodriguez to sort of give the Mariners some insurance, threw over the head of, who was it? It might have been Suarez, actually. So he got tossed, obviously. Warnings were issued before that. You can't throw over some guy's head and not expect to get tossed. And by rule, the manager goes with that ejection, so Dusty also got tossed. And now Neris got suspended 4 games, which he's appealing, so he's still pitching. Dusty served a 1-game suspension. That was a big scuffle just on Monday. Nothing really came. I thought the Mariners might retaliate Tuesday, Wednesday, but nothing was very. There were some hit batters here and there, but nothing got out of hand. So that might be done over with. But we did win the game on a Tuesday. After losing 7-4, we won this one 4-1. Verlander was good. Got the win, 7-2 there. But yeah, come back on Wednesday. That was a tough one. Astros had a early 3-2 lead, but the Urquidy. Urquidy has not been good this year. ERA is now over 5. Now, we haven't talked about Urquidy a whole lot because I feel like in a lot of his starts he's gotten a lot of run support. So really, if he just goes 5 and doesn't implode, he gets he's got 5 wins this year. So it says a lot to that. But Urquidy is an issue in the rotation right now. So, in fact, Verlander pitched today. Today would usually be Christian Javier's slot, but they are flipping them because they had the day off. So Verlander wanted his regular rest. Javier will pitch tomorrow. They haven't announced a starter that would usually be Urquidy's spot. They haven't announced one yet, so I don't know what the plan is necessarily. It still might be Urquidy, but they've also announced the guy after the TBD or whatever, which is Luis Garcia. So I don't know what they plan to do. I just thought that was interesting. I saw that today, so we'll see. I just know Javier pitches tomorrow, and I know Luis Garcia pitches on Wednesday. I do not know who starts on Tuesday at this point, but that's an issue. You can't have a guy in the rotation that is an ERA over 5. Just can't do it. But yeah, that was sort of the big thing there. He wasn't very good in the start here as he, goes 4 1/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. Brandon Bielak, glad I saw that here because Blake Taylor went on the IL. Parker Mashinsky came up for him. Parker Mashinsky then got hurt, so Belak is up for him. Seth Martinez, who also pitched, is up for Jake Odorizzi right now. Seth Martinez has been phenomenal this year. I mean, you can say what you want, but he's pitched. I mean, his ERA is still 0. He's not allowed to run. He's thrown like 11 innings, I want to say. So small sample size, but still, I mean. But Belak came in, three innings. I mean, ate up some innings there. 2 hits, 1 earned run, walked a guy, struck out a guy. But, I mean, I'd take that solid. Seth Martinez got the final 5 outs, gave up a hit, walked a guy, but other than that, nothing to speak of. But still in a loss. This weekend, obviously, Marlins speed up on us Friday pretty good. The offense has some issues. Think about early this year, the 2 big guys was Jose Altuve and Kyle Tucker that were abysmal, hitting-wise. Tucker got out of it. Altuve went on the IL, came back. He was back to the regular guy. So those guys, I don't have issues with Kyle Tucker or Jose Altuve. Now it's Alex Bregman and Gurriel, who have been big disappointments. I am fed up with Alex Bregman. I'm also fed up a little bit with Dusty Baker because I don't understand why he continues to hit a guy who's hitting 220 in the 3-hole in a lineup. It just makes 0 sense. I mean, I would move Tucker down to 7 or 8, not because he's hitting poorly, but as more of just a punishment. Because you can't hit 220. I mean, Bregman's been bad. Okay, there's no 2 ways about it. He's been bad. I can sit here and I can just crush Alex Bregman all I want, but he should not be hitting 3rd in the lineup right now. It's that simple. At least Gurriel hits like 6th or 7th or something like that, so I don't know, but that's not good. Friday wasn't a good game. Garcia was not good on Friday, so back-to-back bad starts. And, yeah, I mean, Garcia got the loss. ERA's up to 3.60, but his outing here, he went 4 1/3 like Urquidy did. 5 earned runs, struck out 7, walked 2, so Garcia's had a few bumps in the road. Phil Maton came in, wasn't much better. He gave up a 2-run home run, I believe, if I remember that correctly. Could have been. But Maton ERA 3.55. Abreu came in, was good, clean, 2 innings, no hits, 3 strikeouts. Neris came in, got a solid inning in. So the bullpen's been okay. Bullpen hasn't been perfect though either. Bullpen's had their bumps in the road. Astros filled up they had runners on base like every inning, just could not come through. And then yesterday's game wasn't, Framber Valdez had the Framber bad start. Usually Framber has bad starts. He walks a lot of guys. He walked in a run. Only 3 walks to his line, 8 or 6 strikeouts, 4 runs, 2 of them were earned. I think Jeremy Pena had a big error that, attributed to a few runs. But Valdez did get through 6, and Stanek had a clean inning in the 7th. And then Montero, who went 2 innings, gave up an earned run, 2 hits, struck out a guy. Didn't walk anybody, but gave up a run there. And then today they salvaged a game, so getting back in the win column, they erupted for 9 runs. So, Pena had a big 2-run shot. Altuve had a big 3-run shot, so that was the big offense there. Verlander was great. He gave up 4 runs. They were all unearned, though. I think that followed, was it Altuve's error? I want to say it was Altuve's error. I'm not 100% sure. Astros had 3 errors today, so. But Verlander's ERA is now back under 2, and he's 8-2, leads the MLB in wins right now, so Verlander's been great for him. But getting the win, salvaging a game, I think that's important for them to do, obviously. Like I said, still have not been swept in 19 series played this year. So But they go to Arlington tomorrow. I'll be in Arlington. We're making the trip up tomorrow afternoon. We'll should be up there, around 5ish. If we get out of here around noon, um, check into our hotel and be going to the game. Most likely Monday and Tuesday. We'll come back Wednesday. We'll make a little 3-day trip or two-day trip, however you want to look at it, really. um, That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, hopefully the Astros play well. It'll be fun to see. Be fun to do that. So I have not seen the ballpark up there, and we've planned this trip twice. I feel like just hasn't 2020 obviously COVID shut down that year, and then late last year we had a trip planned that I had to work, so I couldn't really do it. So now we're doing it. Tomorrow I've asked off work and we're going. My mom and I. So that'll be fun. So big talking points. I'm still good with the bullpen. I almost think that if Blake Taylor's healthy, they should stick with Parker Mashinsky. I like the. I think he's got more. He at least throws strikes. Blake Taylor can't throw strikes consistently. Parker Mashinsky can. So there's that. Get the numbers here for you. Altuve's hitting 279. Good with that. Brantley 291. Brantley's usually over 300, which hard to consistently hit 300, but I'm okay with Brantley. McCormick didn't bring this up. Friday's game. This, just reiterated the point of my feelings towards Chas McCormick. When you have runners on third and less than 2 outs, which he had 2 opportunities there, the game that was very winnable for the team, he struck out both times in key situations. That dude's just a strikeout machine. He's not an everyday player. He can't be an everyday player. Not with his strikeout rate. He's hitting 227. Come on. If you're hitting 250, 275 and you're striking out, maybe, but you can't hit 227 and be a strikeout machine the way he is. Bregman, 225. That's not good enough. Never will be. Alvarez, the one consistent hitter this year, is hitting 311. So, and he's hitting for power. He's got 41 RBIs. He's got like 17 home runs. So Alvarez has been the one guy in the lineup that's been the consistent guy. Tucker's 259. That could be better, but not terrible. I'm okay with Tucker. Gurriel, not so much. 221. Not good enough. Not good enough for Gurriel. Pena, big home run. 277. Definitely take that. Castro, 102. That's bad. Siri, 193. That's also extremely bad. So, Siri's not an everyday player. Neither is McCormick. That's why Jake Myers deserves every opportunity to be the everyday center fielder when he does come back. And then Bregman and Gurriel just have to be better. It's that simple. I'm not going to sit here and roast them. Altuve, Bregman needs to be moved down. It's that simple. Down to 7, 8 in the lineup until he proves he can hit. And Dusty Baker, stubborn Dusty Baker, has this it's a stupid rule. It's a stupid decision-making rule he has with the lineup. Usually I blame managers for bullpen decisions, and managers overall are meaningless. In fact, they lose you more games than they'll win you. They don't win you a whole lot of games, but they will lose you some games. But Dusty Baker likes to have the whole lineup sort of alternate lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, which is stupid. I mean, you would have more of a I would understand your logic there if your lefties had big splits when they're hitting righties or lefties. That's not the issue. All right, Brantley can hit lefties just fine. Alvarez can hit lefties just fine, and so can Tucker. You don't need to split those guys up. I don't care how you do it, but Bregman needs to hit 6th or 7th, and you can put anybody in the 3 hole. I don't care who it is, but they can't be hitting as bad as Bregman is right now. That's all I'll say about it. It's that simple. Dusty just bothers me sometimes, just like A.J. Hinch did. A lot of managers will. Not that hard. Not that hard. I think A.J. Hinch at this point would have moved Alex Bregman out of the 3-hole at this point. But Dusty Baker just, I don't know. I don't really hate Dusty. I don't really love him. I'm just sort of 50-50 on him. And, yeah, I'll question his decision-making, obviously. But, yeah. Well, up over 20 minutes now, so I won't spend too much time. But that's my big issue. If I were to point to one thing, said it like 5 times now, Alex Bregman should be moved down in the lineup. That's all I'll say. I like the bullpen. Rotations had their struggles. Garcia's had some bad starts. Obviously, Urquidy's had bad starts. Javier's had some slip ups. So aside from Verlander, Fromber had been good. I wouldn't quite classify his last start as very good, but Fromber and Verlander are the two guys that you obviously have the most faith in. But the other guys, as good as the rotation was, it's dropped off a little bit. Bullpen hasn't been as solid as it has been, but the hitting is the priority right now. So that's the big thing. And two guys that really are the focal point, and that's Gurriel and Bregman. I'm pretty good with everybody else. I mean, you like if the Astros were smart, they would look hard for a catcher. Wilson Contreras is the guy out there that should be a focal point. I don't have big updates on injury standpoint. Odorizzi, McCullers, I think they're close in their sort of return time. One thing, with McCullers, this is what I would do. Once he's healthy, I'd sit him down and say, listen, you're going to the bullpen. And if he refuses, then I'd trade him. It's that simple. But he won't survive as a starting pitcher. He's proven that over, when did McCullers come up? 2015? 2015 sounds right. Been 8 years. 8 years. 8 years. And he can't consistently be a starter because he can't do it. His arm can't survive a starting pitching role any longer. And if he refuses to go to the bullpen, which he may very well do, because I know he wants to be a starter, but if he refuses to do that, I look for suitors at the deadline. I trade him. I look for a good haul. I think the Astros need to start looking at the future and what you got. And the farm system isn't very good. I would strongly consider, I would put him on the trading block if he refuses to pitch out of the bullpen. And I would look for like a Wilson Contreras or a guy that can help the team right now. You have a good number of starters. You don't need McCullers on this team. You really don't. I mean, if he could stay healthy, I'd love to have him on the team, but he can't do it. You give him 5 years, $85 million to be hurt. It just makes zero sense to me. Whoever's decision it was to give him a big contract, I don't know if that was Luno or if that was Click. I want to say it was Luno. Surprising. But yeah, go trade him and let him be injured for another team, not the Astros. Anyway, this is a lot longer than I wanted it to be. A lot more to complain about and talk about the Astros are losing. But they did win today. Can't be totally upset. But yeah, I've gone long. Love to hear your comments about everything I've said today. Comment section below. Like the video, share it on YouTube, all that good stuff there is to do there on YouTube. But I will talk to you in a... Astros need an off day on Monday coming up, I feel like. Let's look at the schedule here. Next Monday they're off. That will be a good day to probably talk to you. And the Astros play next Sunday night. They have the ESPN game. So Monday, off day, might be a better day to talk. So we'll plan for that. I will talk to you next Monday night. Wrap things up there. Like I said, all that good stuff on YouTube. And we'll see you then.